Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about how the Ohio Senate, after the previous Grandstand today, and when they had that subcommittee hearing this morning is what it was, they officially had a full Senate floor vote today on House Bill 68, the SAFE Act, as they call it. Stopping adolescents from having experimentation done on them is what it is. And it was passed. It passed out of the Ohio Senate. And now it's on to DeWine's desk for him to sign. And hopefully he will sign it, honestly. Because it needs to be signed to law, honestly, at this point in history. And, of course, you had scumbag pieces of shit like Morgan Trow from ABC Cleveland bitching and moaning about it. And being like, let me go find the one kid who transitioned, detransitioned, and then claims that their life wasn't affected from transitioning and detransitioning. It's like bullshit it wasn't, child that calls himself Cassidy. Your fucking voice alone, honey, when you try to become a trans man, when you took testosterone for X amount of years of your life to where it has deepened your voice permanently, which is a permanent alteration, it's clearly going to affect you for the rest of your life. And I'm sure you honestly had a beautiful feminine voice before that is what it is. But because you got fucked up in the head from some probably piece of shit teacher out there, and at the age of 14 decided you want to become a trans dude, chose to go down on testosterone and stuff like that, and do a bunch of testosterone shots into your system, you're never going to have a normal life, kid. Again, you can sit there and call it detransitioning all you want, child. You're never going to be able to go back fully. You're always, like, hell, seriously, for every person that calls themselves Cassidy out there, which is what this chick called herself, which that might be her first name, I don't know. There's a Chloe Cole out there who has lifelong problems, and I guarantee this Cassidy girl did too, honestly. You have permanent issues. In your case, it might have just been the testosterone shots. It might not have been a double mastectomy like Chloe had. But that's the thing. Most of these people that have gone that route, dude, and have gone into doing transitional surgeries, whether it be, top surgery, bottom surgery, depending on gender, obviously, initially. These kids, when they become full adults and detransition, they have permanent daily pain that they will never get rid of. It is big pharma tyranny, dude. It is medical tyranny. It's stuff I've been advocating against for over 3 fucking years now. Ever since the 2020 lockdowns. It's insane. It's insane to me. And then you have the fucking media who needs to be held criminally fucking accountable at this point for crimes against humanity, honestly. You got them telling these fucking stories of this chick, and the chick being all like, oh, the detransitioning and everything, and I'm fine. Basically, I'm fine now is what this Cassidy girl is saying. And she's like, but all the kids who are never going to get this gender-affirming care, and they're going to die because of it. No, they're fucking not. No, they're fucking not, you jackass. What's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of kids who have been gender confused be forced now to actually have real psychological therapy. And they're going to realize very quickly, and so are their piece of shit parents who have fallen into this fucking trap, are going to be like, oh, wait, my kid's actually not transgender. They're just fucked in the head from some piece of shit pedophile teacher in their classroom. Okay, now we got to remove this fucking person from office, from a position of power they have right now. And, of course, you got Allison Russo, the fucking stupid Moms Demand Action cunt who took a bribe on camera a few years ago. You got her bitching and moaning about, oh, DeWine needs to veto this legislation. No, he doesn't, you fucking cunt. What you need to do, Allison Russo, is you need to pack your fucking bags, bitch. Take Casey Weinstein and every other goddamn Democrat with you out of the fucking State House, and the State Senate for that matter, and get the fuck out, bitch. Resign in fucking mass at this point. And I'm serious when I talked about removing your asses from office at this point, man. We need to fucking do that already. If anybody in Alice Russo's district down there in Columbus wants to remove her from office at this point, dude, it's time to Article 1, Section 2 this bitch in a recall vote and be done with it. And the same thing across the board with every other Democrat that's pushing this crap, and especially that fucking rhino sack of shit, Jimmy Callender. Because I love how the mainstream media tries to cuck like, oh, there was bipartisan support against this. No, there fucking wasn't. There was legitimately like 30-something fucking Democrats and then piece of shit rhino Jimmy Callender that were against the fucking shit, dude. Which Callender, the only reason he's even running as a Republican is because his district is gerrymandered weird, and it's just a little bit more red than is blue. So if he was a Democrat, he wouldn't get elected into office. That's the only reason he runs as a Republican. It's the same exact reason that fucking douchebag Matt Dolan is in the Ohio Senate right now and trying to run for the U.S. Senate right now. He failed to run as a Democrat in 2014, came back in 2016, rode Trump's fucking coattails and sucked on his asshole every fucking day of his worthless life to get into office as a Republican, and then pulled the same bullshit in 2020. But anyway, we're going to talk about this stuff. We're also going to talk about this stupid-ass thing down in Cincinnati that's a gun GPS thing. So it's basically you registering your fucking guns is what it essentially is, to be tracked everywhere they go in this case. So fucking stupid, dude. Entirely. Not to mention the fact there's an EMP burst that just kills the fucking phones and the ability to open up the case. I'm pretty sure is what it is, dude, because it has to be opened by an app is what it is there for the lock. So it's like, congratulations, dumb fucks. You just made an inoperable device is what it is there. If an electromagnetic pulse overhits. So fucking stupid, man. But yeah, so you have a couple different things I want to talk about here. Obviously, you got the article about the actual stuff happening there, but then we also got this one that was earlier this afternoon, which is, and I want to point some out too when we talk about this whole thing with these so-called counselors and stuff like that. These are the people who are getting paid to push the transgender agenda on your kids, man. And to sit there and have like a 20-minute, 30-minute conversation with these people in a Planned Parenthood clinic or something else for that matter. And then be like, okay, kid, cool, you're good to go. Yeah, you're transgender. Here's some hormone blockers. These are the fucking sick fucks, dude, that need to be literally brought up on felony crimes at this point for child abuse and crimes against humanity. Yeah, it says counselors, psychiatrists, and school officials speak out against parents' rights, Parents' Bill of Rights. Of course they do, dude, because hate fucking parents is what it is. So dozens, including school counselors and psychiatrists, testified Tuesday against a bill Ohio Senate would force schools to notify parents on sexuality content and possibly on student sexuality, calling it censorship and potentially risking for students. Okay, sorry, this is a different one, actually. This is not, I was thinking this was the same bill. It's not. This is House Bill 8, which needs to be a thing, too, for that matter. So, never mind. We're not going to read this article then, but yeah, this needs to pass as well, the House Bill 8 thing there. That's what it is, to stop all these fucking pedos in our school system from transitioning kids behind their parents' backs is what it is, dude. But no, the one I'm talking about here, though, is this one, which is, pulling this up right now. Yeah, it was Ohio Senate. Votes to ban trans girls in female sports. It's called Males, you fucking ass clowns at the, you stupid bitch Haley B. Miller at the Columbus Dispatch. And then restrict medical care for trans kids. Not okay, so here's the problem with that, right? Even that fucking headline is bullshit, dude. You're not fucking banning so-called trans girls from female sports. What you're doing is you're banning biological males who never fucking transitioned at all, who are literally fucking dick and balls intact, are too much of a bunch of beta fuckboys to actually go run races and stuff like that and win against other men. So they'll sit there and run against girls and win. It's the same bullshit happened in Connecticut there with Selena Soul and them chicks, dude. You had, and by the way, I would point something out on that one. It was 2 black males that pulled that shit back in those days, dude, a couple years ago. You had, what was it now? Yeah, you had one dude who did it junior year and then was like, hey, buddy. It was like some, like, you know, Tyrone or whatever did it fucking junior year. And then he's like, hey, Deshaun, come over here in senior year and we can do this together. Neither one of these guys ever went through any transition whatsoever there in Connecticut. They never did any of that shit, dude. They were biologically male intact. They went through full male puberty. They had way, way more ability to run, jump, etc. from that fucking puberty. And they fucked these girls out of every college scholarship they could have had at that point. That's what this is about, dude. It's about stopping biological males from having a clearly distinctive unfair advantage against females and taking scholarships, etc. that should go to those females is what it is, dude. It's about literally saving women's sports. But of course, third and fourth wave feminists don't give a shit about that, dude, because they never fucking did. Because it's all about them and fuck everybody else kind of thing is what it is. It's like we talked about in Honda's chat last night with some of these people that are gunners and stuff like that, where it's like, I got mine, so fuck everybody else kind of shit is what it is. And that's what I fucking hate about those people, by the way, in the 2A communities and stuff like that. They don't give a shit about actually protecting gun rights at all, dude. They just want to fucking get theirs and then fuck everybody else is what it is. Anyway, it said House Bill 68 would restrict medical care for transgender minors, meaning literal transition surgeries and hormone blockers, prohibit trans girls and women from playing in female sports teams. So biological men is what they really mean, you asshole. Yeah, so the House Senate voted Wednesday to ban biological men from female sports and restrict the transition surgeries and hormone blockers for minor youth. So House Bill 68, which passed the House earlier this year, would prohibit biological men from competing in female sports teams in high school and colleges. Also prevents doctors from prescribing hormone blockers, puberty blockers, and gender reassignment surgeries for any patient until they turn the age of 18. So literally banning minors from being fucking sex changes is what it is. Makes sense, obviously. So they changed it. Wednesday would allow Ohio residents already receiving hormone blockers and puberty blockers to continue as long as doctors determine stopping the prescription would cause them harm. So see, that's the thing, right? Okay, that's what Christina Rogner and them were voting on this afternoon, actually, is what it was, dude. So even that, right? Even that shit, you still have the ability, legitimately, to not stop your fucking hormone treatments, is what it is, there, dude. As long as you can physically prove, your doctor can physically prove it would cause you harm. So proponents say the measure is necessary to protect children, but LGBTQ pedophiles and big pharma criminals contend it peddles misinformation about transgender medical care and could harm young Ohioans who need treatment. No, it wouldn't, you fucking dickless pieces of shit. Said the Ohio Senate approved the bill 24-8, with just one Republican opting against it, prompting cries of shame from protesters outside the chamber. It now has back to the House for a final vote. No changes made by Senate Republicans, etc. I want to know who voted against that shit, then, if that be the case, dude, the one Republican. Because it's got to be a rhino sack of shit on that one, dude. So, yeah, so that means we have 33 in our chamber, so it was 32 then. So it would have been, I thought there was 7 Democrats. I feel like there's 20. It should be 26-7, I believe, if not mistaken. Maybe it's 25-8 right now. So it means there was one person, probably a Democrat, that wasn't there that day. Then, if that be the case today for that. All right, continuing on here, it says House Bill 68 would cause people to leave Ohio, and no one should be forced to from their home for any reason, but especially not because of extreme laws undermining the freedom of their safety, said Dana Atkinson, an advocate for Trans Ohio. Ohio is our home too, and it always will be. I'm gonna go see what this Dara Atkinson piece of shit looks like, honestly, dude, because I guarantee this person's a fucking pedophile. Oh yeah, looks exactly what I thought they would look like, honestly, dude. Some fucking literal bull DYKE is what it is there. Oh, of course, they were trying to run for state rep last year. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Or are they trying to run right now, actually, for 2024? And I'm looking at it right now here. This might be for next year, actually. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, of course. This dumb bitch, Dara. I grew up in rural New York, the daughter of 2 public school teachers from a strong union family. Then take your bitch ass back to New York, you dumb cunt. Seriously. You're not an Ohioan, lady. That's the whole point. You're not an Ohioan, literally by definition, because you grew up in fucking New York, lady. You're a New Yorker who is a transplant to Ohio. I am a fucking Ohioan, bitch. I was born here, raised here for the past almost 39 years of my fucking life. You ain't shit, lady. You're a fucking New York transplant. Fuck you. So fucking sick and tired of these fucking cunts, dude. For real. And this woman even looks like the fucking kind of piece of shit that would be a predator on kids, dude. Yeah, of course, there's their fucking ass doing the shit there. Oh, this year's what it was. Fucking disgusting, dude. What a sick predator, dude. These people really are predators, man. And I mean that shit when I say it, too. Oh, Jesus. Look at that shit for Equality Ohio. Literal donkey and the LGBTQ flag. Fucking hell, man. What a joke. I'm going to look this up right now. I want to see what the chick's actually running for this year and next year. Oh, okay. It was back in 2020. Never mind. Yeah. Lost November 3rd, 2020 by a shitload to current state rep Dick Stain. Literally 2-1 margin. Haha, get fucked, Dara. That's hilarious. What a dumb bitch, dude. What a stupid cunt. Anyway, taking on the rest of this, though, it said Ohio Senate added changes on parental consent. Said legislation does not ban talk therapy, but it requires mental health providers to get permission from at least one parent or guardian to diagnose and treat gender dysphoria. A previous version of the bill required consent from both parents and or guardians. Said senators also removed a provision that would have delayed the law's effective date for 6 months. It's a quote, some parents may say, my parents beat me with a stick until I was black and blue, and I'm going to do the same thing to my kid. Well, we prohibit that, State Senator or Senate President Matt Hoffman said. So somewhere along the line, the state does have to intervene. It really is a protection of the child kind of thing. So for transgender athletes, House Bill 68 says genitalia a child is born with determines sports team that they can play on. Right now, the Ohio High School Athletic Commission allows transgender girls to join female teams if they have completed at least 1 year of hormone therapy. Doesn't matter if they've had a full puberty at that point as a male. Just to point that one out, dude. So as of 2022, only one dude, claiming to be a transgender girl, is now playing on an Ohio varsity team. It's unclear if the bill will fare if it reaches DeWine's desk. DeWine opposed previous efforts to ban transgender chicks and transgender to ban guys and girls sports. That's what we're going to say now, because that's what it actually is doing. So the measure was initially separate from the medical care bill, but House lawmakers combined the two into one proposal now. It's a DeWine spokesman said the governor is monitoring the bill, but declined to comment further. Quote, I think Ohioans should be puzzled why they've not been listened to, said Senate Minority Leader Nikki Antonio, who is a raging bull, DYKE, and should have already been tossed out of the Ohio Senate over 4 fucking years ago when she was sitting there primary sponsoring bullshit like red flag laws, universal background checks in the Ohio Senate. You're an oath-breaking cunt, lady. Go fuck off. Back to Cleveland and then to prison where you fucking belong. And it's as simple as that. Anyway. Yeah, I love how she says this. They have told us twice that they don't want government interfering in healthcare, but here we are again, not only interfering in healthcare, but usurping the ability of parents to make decisions for themselves. So first of all, they're not making decisions for themselves, you stupid bitch. They are literally making lifelong medical choices for an underage child who in most fucking cases, literally like 90+% of fucking cases, is going to detransition at some point back to their biological sex. But it's sick fucking cunts like you, Nikki, who want to sit there and force these fucking children to be sterilized because you're trying to build a goddamn army is what it fucking is. Because you know that fucking bull dykes like you are going to sit there and never have fucking kids because you're fucking same-sex people, so you're never going to legally have your own fucking children is what it is. And so you're literally trying to push this shit in our schools and every place else like that to push forward your fucked up gay agenda, your trans agenda, your fucking depopulation agenda, your activist agenda, to where you're trying to make an entire army of youth into some little fucking Democrat brown shirts that will push this fucking garbage down everybody's throats is what it is, dude. And we are sick and tired of it, and we're saying, fuck you, cunt. And we are smacking your ass back, bitch. There has been a line drawn in the fucking sand, you piece of shit. And that line is stop fucking with kids. And if you got a problem with that, Nikki, you got a problem with me. If you got a fucking problem with me, we can fucking go at it, bitch. I'll fucking fight you at this point, honestly. I'm ready to fucking fight, honestly. If you want to fucking have dukes up, bitch, we can fucking have dukes up. And you can find out how fucking true your whole like transgender bullshit is, because I'll identify as a trans woman for 5 minutes is what it is. Well, we have a fucking full-blown throwdown. How about that? And we'll see what the real truth is. If men actually do have a distinct advantage or not. So, anyway. So fucking sick and tired of this shit, dude. I'm not seeing that article, by the way. Like, I'm just really fucking sick of these people, man. Well, I have the first. Nikki has the second. As far as I'm aware, anyway. I know that's the one thing. That's the one thing about Nikki Antonio too. By the way, she loves to play the fucking gay card every chance she gets, dude. That's what it is. These people, because it's all they have. They have nothing else to stand on ever. So what will they sit there and play? Well, I'm the first openly lesbian fucking lawmaker in Ohio's history, or some bullshit like that. Is what she claimed a couple times now. It's like, nobody fucking cares, bitch. Like, seriously, no one fucking cares. What we care about is the fact that you're not medically sterilizing children. Like, how hard is that to understand? You don't put a fucking child who has never had puberty on fucking sterilization drugs that are called hormone blockers. You don't give kids transitional surgeries under the age 18. Hell, look at Jazz. Seriously, Jazz Jennings is the fucking epitome of this shit, dude. They claim that they were 18 when they had the shit, but they weren't. They were 17 years old when they had a fucking transition surgery. That child was permanently blocked by hormones from ever having puberty. And because of that, they had to have like 4 or 5 different surgeries to fix a bunch of fucking issues then. That kid can never achieve, as an adult now, that child can never fucking achieve full orgasm because of that shit. They are totally fucked. It's insanity. We have the fucking inmates running the asylum anymore, and I'm so sick of it. Like, what happened to mental institutions in this country? Let's reopen the motherfuckers and toss these sick fucks in them, dude. That's where people like Nicky and Antonio belong, honestly, dude. They belong in a fucking nut house, not in a fucking state house. It just blows my mind, honestly, dude. And this is truthfully exactly why we're going to civil war in this country very soon. This is exactly why you're going to see that pendulum swing back so hard it's going to snap at the fucking bolts and just go whoosh, swirling around and hit everybody, dude. Nobody's going to be immune from the fucking consequences. It's just so infuriating. It really is, dude. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about here, which was gun-related stuff here. You got these two dudes in Cincinnati that made some kind of weird gun lock case thing. It says, designed to enhance gun safety, Ohio entrepreneurs create GPS tracking system for guns. It's so fucking stupid, by the way. Nobody's locking their gun up like this, especially when they need it for home defense, you dumbasses. So two Cincinnati entrepreneurs have developed a way to track your guns. Gun Alert is a GPS tracking system designed to detect unauthorized movement, alert users within seconds, and help them recover their stolen firearms, according to news partners in a Cincinnati affiliate there. Says co-creator Tom Learn told WCPO that the goal has been to, quote, make it easy for people to secure their guns and get notified if they move. This has been a passion project for him, as he always had safe storage and handling top of his mind. Said, I've been a gun guy since I was in the Boy Scouts as a teenager. I was involved in the Boy Scouts as a leader for over 35 years, taught kids gun safety and how to shoot guns. I believe that the more kids know about gun safety, better off we all are. Well, I would say it's more like firearms handling is what they need, buddy, and that's where we come in at, for that matter. It's not really gun safety, it's just the basic rules of firearm safety is what it is there, and then actually knowing how to use a gun for proper use is what it is, which is, by the way, is to deal with fucking tyranny, not for hunting or any other stupid shit like that, dude, is what it is. So this product uses cellular technology and an enhanced motion sensor. It syncs to a phone app and can be attached to a gun itself. Again, ain't nobody using this shit, dude. Like, literally, no one is using this shit. Like, you're high if you think that's gonna happen, dude. It's just stupid, is what it is, man. It's just a waste of time and money. And the funny thing is, and I was looking at this earlier, it was because it was on the news there, is what it was, the same thing with the transition stuff earlier. And they were all like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a way to like be about gun safety and safe storage and everything else like that. And it's like, no, it's gonna be about you being able to track people's shit, dude, is what it is. And that's the end game of the whole thing, is what it is, dude. And you cannot sit there and honestly tell me this is not hackable as fuck, dude. And again, like we said earlier with the EMP thing, electromagnetic pulse hits this country, we're all fucked. That shit goes down immediately and you can't get your gun unlocked is what it's going to be. Or God forbid, they stole your fucking gun and now it's like, oh shit, don't know where my gun's at now. So it's like, yeah, it's just stupid, dude. It's just like the smart gun thing. That's the reason why smart gun technology hasn't caught on, dude, because it's fucking so flawed right now. It's just like the same thing with all these people that want to talk about the whole climate change thing and try to do all green energy stuff is what it is. We can't physically sustain a populace on that shit. We just can't. I mean, hell, you had Nebraska have a storm there. It was like, I don't know, a year or two ago or so. And they had this giant solar farm there. And within like 30 minutes, this one hailstorm destroyed like tens of millions of dollars worth of fucking solar panels is what it was. And it completely destroyed an entire grid, basically, of solar technology. So yeah, it's unsustainable, dude, even by Mother Nature standards. And to sit there and try to claim you can rely on that shit for all your day uses and stuff like that, that's just fucking dumb, is what it is. So, anyway. Yeah, it's just really fucking stupid in general, dude, is what it is. That being said, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. I got some stuff I got to do here in a little while. So, I pretty much ran this one in the ground anyway. just to be clear, what I said earlier with myself and Nikki Antonio and possibly, duking it out or whatever the case be, it would be for charity in a boxing match if she really wants to go at it on that one, just to be clear on that one. I'm not talking about literally fist fighting her in the streets or anything, dude. I'm talking about literally we get in the fucking ring, we both throw on gloves. If she beats me, money goes to her charity. If I beat her, money goes to my charity is what it'd be then. So I guarantee she never accept those what it is, dude. She probably bring some big ass dude proxy and be like, "This is my trans woman friend," or some shit like that. It's like some Macho Man Randy Savage, Heather Swanson shit. So, and I'd be like, sure it is, Nikki. So, anyway, yeah, it is what it is, man. But yeah, it's a bunch of assholes, is what it is. It's a bunch of sick fucking people who, like I said, their entire end game is to literally destroy an entire generation and confuse these kids to the point where they can indoctrinate them into their own bullshit is what it is. And they're creating a cult is what it is, dude, legitimately. I don't know if you guys remember, before we go, actually, I'm going to talk about this for a minute now. I don't know if you guys remember there was a show several years back now. It was starring Kevin Bacon after he had gotten in league with Bernie Madoff is what it was, and Bernie Madoff made off all his money is what it was there. It was called The Following. And it was basically, you had Kevin Bacon playing an FBI agent, trying to find this cult leader guy. And it was this cult leader guy making a literal cult out of just random people is what it was, that were his following is what it was there. I forget how it actually ended. I think it ended like a cliffhanger or something when they eventually canceled is what it was. It was actually a good show, though, especially the first season. But the entire point of it was, though, is this is exactly what the left is doing right now. They are creating a very fucked up cult system, and they're trying to indoctrinate the youth of today, whether it be Gen Z, whether it be Gen Alpha, whatever they want to call themselves at this point, into their manipulative bullshit, because they know you can get a kid young enough, you can manipulate them into any which way, shape, or form you want them. And in many cases, it is for sexual gratification. It is because people are pedophiles. And if they're not directly pedophiles themselves, it's because they have people within their ranks that are. And so they're enabling those sick fucks to mess with these kids. But thank God we actually have adults in this situation that actually understand that sanity is still a thing in this country in 2023. And they are actually doing something to make it happen. And it's as simple as that. A lot of these leftists, specifically when you look at the teachers and stuff like that are in education now is what it is. It's a lot of these females that claim to be teachers and stuff like that in schools, but it's also some of these dudes too, for that matter. But they always seem to follow the left mentality where they're the ones pushing the gender ideology. They're the ones pushing the preferred gender pronouns. Just go to live to TikTok on Twitter, honestly, any given day, and you can see what I'm talking about. When I see people being like, and this is why today I told my kids I was queer in class kind of shit. It's like, yeah, it's just people fucked in the head is what it is, dude. It's literal mental illness running wild that are then pushing this shit is what it is. No, they all are. That's what I'm saying. It's not just women. It's men too, for that matter. What I'm saying is it's these people that should not be in educational systems that are the ones, they're either enablers or they're directly child molesters themselves is what it is. And it's why they're pushing this trans ideology on kids a bunch is what it is there. Because they're trying to make a whole thing is what it is. So, yeah, it's them. Like I said, going back 5 minutes or so, it's them trying to make a whole army for themselves because they know that in so many cases they are gay, etc. They know that they're never going to have biological children of their own, so they're trying to take other people's kids and make them part of their army is what it is. It's a basically it's a communist agenda. Actually, where's that one thing? I'm thinking about it. I think it's like Rules for Radicals, if I'm not mistaken. It talks about it in that too. So, but yeah, it's like the whole thing about like the Rules for Radicals agenda and stuff too, for that matter. So, the hell is that now? Yeah, I'm gonna go read those rules real quick here for a sec, and then we can talk about the shit. Because this is actually their playbook that they've been using for years now, is what it is there. So, yeah, it's the Saul Alinsky Rules for Radicals playbook here. which is the rules. Number 1, power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. Number 2, never go outside the expertise of your people, which basically means never, that's what you see a lot with like anti-gunners and stuff like that. They don't have any actual knowledge and guns and stuff like that, so they'll be beat like very quickly is what it is. So they'll just like go and try to like do something else or whatever the case be. So they'll try to go into like that weird like narrow landscape of the trans ideology stuff where it's like, well, if you don't let these kids transition, they're just going to go out there and commit self-harm and suicide and all this other bullshit, which is a bunch of lies for that matter. Then we got number 3, whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy. So it's basically if they don't know all this shit, you got to basically make it so that they don't know anything, and you sort of school them as what it is there, or try to school them and fuck with their heads as what it is there. Number 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. So literally your rule book is what you're listening on that one. Number 5, ridicule is man's most potent weapon. There is no defense. It is almost impossible to counterattack ridicule. Also, it infuriates the opposition, who then reacts to your advantage. And that's exactly what the left loves to do, by the way. They'll sit there and fuck with you until you basically beat the shit up, is what it is there. And then we got number 6, a good tactic is one your people enjoy. Number 7, the tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. Number 8, keep the pressure on. Number 9, the threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself, which is exactly what they're doing with the whole transition thing, is what it is there, dude, and being like, oh my god, the threat of these kids possibly doing self-harm and everything else like that. Well, it's a fucking lie, dude. It's 100% a lie. Most of the time they won't. If you give them the proper care that they need and the actual talk therapy that they need, most of them are just going to be like, oh, okay, and they'll be fine. Let's see, number 10, the majority or major promise for tactics is the development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure upon the opposition. Number 11, if you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through into its counter side. This is based on the principle that every positive has its negative. And by the way, the left loves to do this number 11 one a lot, dude. That's why they'll always harp on guns and stuff like that. That's why they'll always harp on all this other shit now, too, is what it is. Because they want you to compromise, is what it really is, honestly. Number 12, the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. And number 13, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. And again, that's what they fucking love to do with this shit right now, dude. Especially all the trans stuff right now. So it is when you're talking about compromising on the possible sterility of an entire generation of kids. Yes. And that's the entire point, is when you're talking about stuff like House Bill 68 here, it's to stop kids from literally being medically sterilized by Big Pharma and becoming big pharmaceutical patients their entire lives, is what it really is. So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, I got some stuff I got to do. And I do think it's good to talk about this stuff, too, for that matter, because like I said, the left loves to use the Rules for Radicals playbook. They always have, they always will. And unfortunately, in many cases, if you let them do the shit and get away with it, they will always keep going down that road and everything else like that, dude. It actually goes back to, if you look at the Agenda 2030 that Bilderberg's been pushing, whether it be Soros, Gates, etc., it's all the shit they've been trying to do with the depopulation agenda for years now. So that's pretty much why they want these kids sterilized, because, again, it's the, what was it, the Georgia Guidestones that got blown up there last year or so, I think is what it was. It said it all in that stuff, too, for that matter, where it was the whole agenda they had going on there, where it was like, oh, yeah, population needs to be like, I think it was 700 million people or something like that at most. And, yeah, it was a whole bunch of stuff there. And then, of course, somebody supposedly blew it up, is what it was last year, after it being there for decades in Georgia. So it's actually really creepy shit when you start going down those rabbit holes. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't for that reason. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say an entire generation. It's just whatever they can get of the generation. If that be, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, whatever it is. That's still a lot of a generation, though, man. Even 10% of a generation is too much. And I can tell you, and it's not even just one generation for that matter. It's many generations in a row now, because you have a mix between younger millennials, older Gen Z, And now this Generation Alpha they're going after. And again, this is why people are mirroring this fight is what it is, because they're not going to put up with that shit. We're not going to let them fuck with our kids. We're not going to let them fuck with our nieces, nephews, etc. is what it is there. So, yeah. Like I said, no percentage is okay, honestly. You know, it's like the same thing with, it's funny to me too, because people always talk about, you know, they want to sit there and talk about, you know, kids dying from like so-called gun violence and stuff like that. But yet at the same time, these same people are perfectly okay with allowing fentanyl to be brought over our open border system every single day and kill so many people in this country that seriously, the fentanyl crisis, the opioid crisis in general in this nation has killed more people than like, I think it's like 3 or 4 Vietnams now or something like that. So yeah, it's just insanity, dude, is what it is. But anyway, like I said, though, I got some stuff I got to do though, and I got to get ready to do some things with some family members and whatnot. So plus I got to see who was actually on the phone earlier, see if they left a message or anything for me to get back to them then, and go from there basically. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow for Buckshot Thursday. Hopefully Cora will be here on the panel, and maybe somebody else depending if they want to come on or not. If anybody ever wants to be on one of these panels with me, by the way, just go ahead and go to NEA's Discord specifically, and just look up Ohio Patriot Education Network on there and DM me, and I'll be on there talking to you. Or even in that same way of things, if you want to come on the panel and stuff like that, and you have a Twitter/X account, DM me on there too, because we're on there all the time is what it is. So it's the Never Enough Ammo Discord. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. I don't think I can drop a link, unfortunately. Yeah, it's the G&G community is what it's called there. So if you just go check out Never Enough Ammo's channel here on YouTube, he usually has a link in every one of his videos to the actual Discord. So, or even just go to eHonda 420's channel too. He has his Gay Frogs Discord there, and he will. I'm on that one too. So, yeah, if you ever want to get a hold of me, that's how you get a hold of me. So, or like I said, just DM me on Twitter/X, and I'll do it that way. So, if you want to come on the panel, I'll drop you a StreamYard link, then if that be the case. So, all right. Other than that, that's what we'll be out for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good one, y'all, and come back tomorrow for Buckshot Thursday, where we talk about 2A and 2A related topics. Till later. See you later.